out in the cold here.
All right, everybody. Questions for Coach?
Coach, just what did you enjoy the most about this win? What really you go home and feel good about it?
Well, the thing I enjoyed the most was the celebration in the locker room afterwards with the players and coaches and the managers and the trainers and everybody involved. And I had a chance to thank everybody in the room for holding it together in a very difficult time. It's probably the most difficult time I've been through as a coach. And not that everything's rosy and over, but you know, the bleeding, you know, we stopped the bleeding and got a victory. And our players just stuck together, and our coaches did, and I'm just really proud of how we handled the adversity, because it was not easy, and just happy for everybody.
Mark, I was going to say, how much did it mean to you that these guys didn't quit, that they just kept fighting, and you saw like the pressure coming off of them as they realized it was starting to happen.
Right. Well, sometimes it's hard to know how to handle adversity, and we know everybody feels a certain way. Everybody feels differently, but no one really feels good about what's happening. And so you feel a certain way, but you need to act a different way. You can't act out how you feel, because it can become too negative. And so the guys just kept waking up every morning, showing up, going to work, and kept doing what we asked them to do. And just proud of our staff and our players for how they handled it.
Coach, what adjustments did you make at halftime? The running game had been stopped in the first half. They've had a lot of trouble with the running game. What adjustments did you make in your running game at halftime?
Well, the big thing for us is we lost our tight ends. I mean, we had to go 4 receiver sets, and that's really our only thing we could do. We had a couple sets where we have 2 backs and 3 receivers, but you know, no tight end. We went from 2 tight ends to 0, and we had a lot of 2 tight end sets prepared. Matter of fact, 3rd series I was going to get into a lot of our 2 tight end stuff. And by then we only had 1, and then before long we had none. So everything in our offense has a tight end, almost everything. So we had to go what we call 10 personnel, 4 receivers, 1 back, and it was just really simple zone plays, and the ability here and there to pull the ball at the quarterback position, maybe run a little bit of a outside play, what we call stretch play, but it's mostly just zone, and then maybe pull the ball and throw the bubble here and there, and try to go fast where they weren't getting our signals and things of that nature. That was what we were trying to do.
We saw Mallory with a knee brace, and we saw Brevin with a boot, or we heard he had a boot on. Is that kind of
knee?
bad? You know,
a knee for Mallory. Don't know how. Don't know what yet it means. Just wasn't able to finish. And Brevin did have an ankle that we don't know. We'll get some MRIs. We'll get some pictures.
There was a lot of hard hitting in this game on both sides. Huh?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, both of these teams never would have dreamed when we got to play each other it was going to be a 5-5 and a 4-5. 2 teams with those kind of records. It just no one would have believed it or dreamed it up. And but they're proud programs, and they are, and we are teams that will. We recruit the kind of kids that will fight, and to everybody's credit, that you could tell that game meant a lot to everybody.
how nice is
And
it
I'll excuse me, I'm going to let you ask. I do want to say one more thing. I thought their fan base, really showed up and did a good job. I mean, just to look around in the first quarter and see that thing jam-packed and the juice they were trying to bring for their team, it was impressive.
How nice is it to be going to a bowl game?
Well, I didn't know for sure how big of a deal it was for our players, but that was the #1 chant during the dance, was excited about the bowl. So I didn't emphasize it enough, but I guess I didn't have to, because it meant a lot to them, and that was the biggest celebration, was the fact that we went to the bowl.
Couple more
What are
guys.
your thoughts on just Nicosi? I mean, it seems like we're continuing to see a step forward every week.
Yeah, he's getting better and better, and more confident. And he had a couple balls that got dropped that could have been big plays, and there were some times that he might have missed the guy here and there, but he managed the game well. He didn't throw any picks. He didn't fumble the ball. He made a couple nice runs. You could just see his comfort level rising, and one day I really believe you'll see him really come into his own, and he's just working towards that right now.
Part of his game too now that we're seeing more of is the RPO, where he's keeping it and running, and just that added element, what that does for the offense.
Yeah, I mean, he certainly, when he pulls the ball and zone reads, he's a talented runner. He's learning when to throw the bubble, when not to, when to throw the RPOs or the bubbles, and he's just more comfortable making the right mic identifications and stuff like that. I don't want to get too technical, but he's got to kind of set the stage for the blocking schemes. And you can have a center do most of it, but there's some things that happen in the perimeter in the defensive backfield that a quarterback can see that a lineman can't see, and he might have to change the mic identification to help us get in the right play or the right protection. And he's just getting more and more comfortable doing that.
Mark, do you expect obviously to
Last one.
have
What's that?
Mike Pinckney and
Yeah.
Aaron? They'll be back next week.
Yes, they'll both be
Just
back.
one game.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.